So is there sort of one particular reason or several reasons why you decided to change your mind about this and have started to make some more bold conservation films?
Yes, and of course if you were a sensitive naturalist, you would recognize that there were areas, we began to recognize that there were areas in which this animal may have disappeared or that man have disappeared. But the notion that humanity might exterminate a whole community of animals was quite foreign. I don't think many people thought that. And of course, the naturalists were the exception in a way. They were people with their eyes open, their sensitive tentacles prepared to see what was happening around them. But you know, now there are more people living in towns and conurbations than they're living in the wild. So it means that the majority of the human race are out of touch to some degree with the richness of the natural world. And what they see on television is new to them, but at the same time, people who watch the natural world on television get a vision of the world that no human beings ever had 100 years ago. 100 years ago, people didn't know anything about the world. They knew about their immediate circumstances, and of course they read books and so on. But now television can take them to the bottom of the sea, and they can take them high in the sky, and they can take them into the Arctic and the coldest regions and on the top of the Himalayas, everywhere, and you can see the most remote things.
And David, recently you were in Poland. You spoke very powerfully at the UN climate change conference there. Tell everyone here, how urgent is that crisis now?
It's difficult to overstate it. We are now so numerous, so powerful, so all-pervasive. The mechanisms that we have for destruction are so wholesale and so frightening that we can actually exterminate whole ecosystems without even noticing it. We have now to be really aware of the dangers of what we're doing. And we already know that, of course, the plastic problem in the seas is wreaking appalling damage upon marine life, the extent of which we don't yet fully know.
And why do you think the world leaders and those in key positions of leadership, why do you think they've taken so long and there have been quite a few faltering steps to act on environmental challenges?
Because the connection between the natural world and the urban world, the society of human society, has always, since the Industrial Revolution, has been remote and widening. And we didn't realize the effects of what we were doing out there. But now we are seeing that almost everything we do has its echoes and has its duplications and implications across the natural world, so that we have now really to care for what we do, because we can exterminate things without even knowing.